Got my 70 Chevelle project car sitting behind me. I've got some killer new product that's sitting in front of it. This product's going to convert the front suspension over to a coil-over system. We're going to lay it all out and we're going to show you what it comes with. Okay, so I've got everything out of the box and unwrapped, and we got it all on the table here. We've got all the Speedtech goodies, which consists of the upper control arms, the lower control arms, sway bar end links. We've got some tie rod adjuster sleeves over there, and we've got the new weld-in brackets for the upper shock mount. Speedtech offers a few different shock options. For my setup, I opted to go with the Viking Crusader coilover shocks. These shocks have a compression and a rebound adjustment, so it's going to allow me to fine-tune these shocks for ride quality and handling, let alone with the coilovers you get the feature of being able to adjust the preload for the final ride height. We'll go over some of the features that Speedtech was describing to me over the phone when I was talking to him when putting this whole package together. And basically on the upper control arms, what they were explaining is that this crossbar is going to be a 303 stainless, and it's going to utilize dale rim bushings at the pivot point, which is the same as well as the lower control arms too, at the pivot point of the frame. The other thing that they were describing to me is that on their ball joints, unlike some of the others, their ball joints are going to be a forged body. They were also telling me they were pretty proud to say that they are made in the USA. They're welding, designing, and assembling these parts all in St. George, Utah. The upper control arms are going to be a 1 1/4 DOM, and the lower control arms, if I'm not mistaken, are going to be a 1 1/2 inch DOM construction. They are gloss black powder coating, pretty thick, look like they're really durable, so that's going to be nice. Another cool thing that I need to tell you guys is that the way that you see these control arms on this table, how they're assembled with the ball joints and bushings and everything, that's how they came out of the box, which I was pretty impressed with, pretty happy. A lot of times when you get parts like this, you'll open up the box and you'll have a bunch of bags of hardware, and then you have to assemble everything. Chance of possibly, not getting all the parts, and let alone now you have to make sure that you're, the guesswork of making sure that everything's assembled correctly. Speedtech takes that all out of your hands, and they take care of it themselves, so that's pretty cool. We've got the aluminum adjuster sleeves here for the tie rods, pretty standard stuff. On the lower control arms, we've got a built-in compression stop, and you also see here we've got tabs for these really nice sway bar end links that would get installed there. I didn't recognize on a lot of these other kits that I was looking at when I was looking for a new way to go, they were coming with sway bar end links or let alone mounts like you see here. So that's a pretty cool feature that I thought stood out compared to others on the market. I didn't ask Speedtech, but I'm pretty much going to assume that these lower control arms can be utilized for either a factory style coil or the coil-over shock like I'm using. It looks like you just probably need to get the proper hardware to mount the spring in place for if you go coil. The way that I'm doing it is going to be bolted in there just like so, and that's going to be the coil-over that I'm running. The coil-over is going to be possible with their the Speedtech upper chicane brackets, and I get it. You're going to look at these and be like, man, I can make those. Sure you can. People know how to cut and weld and fab up parts, but for me, I'm not looking. I mean, I've got a welder. I'm going to weld these in myself. I've can cut metal and bend it and all that good stuff, but Speedtech is taking all the guesswork out of it. They give you instructions on where you're going to be cutting on the frame, placing these mounts, and welding them back in. Less heartache and testing and everything else in between, let alone they're taking all the guesswork out of it because their product is all going to work together in unison to not have any type of coil binding or any type of restriction of travel, which is the whole point of all this upgrading. Any type of restriction of travel is going to harm the way that the car rides, let alone the handling of it as well. So these brackets are going to make that possible and take all the guesswork out of it. So overall, the product is really nice. Really satisfied with it. Something else that I wanted to point out here, Speedtech, this product that you see on the table here is, it might seem a little extreme, but I got to tell you, Speedtech has their hands into some deep suspension upgrades. They've got front clips for Camaros. They've got full chassis for the Chevelles. I would love to run their chassis, but for the type of guy that I am and budget, let alone what I'm using the car for, a full chassis just isn't in the cards right now. This is the way that I'm happy with just the upgraded suspension on the factory chassis. But the point is to this is that Speedtech this isn't like where they stop. They go even much further and deeper into their development of performance on these cars. So that's pretty cool. You'll see here that they have spindles. My car currently has their spindles on it, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But I wanted to point that out, that this whole kit that I have laid out on the table is also going to be utilizing their spindles that they offer too as well. They're just not on the table because they're already installed in the car with some other product which will be taken off. So, point is, Speedtech has their hands on these cars pretty deep. I'm pretty impressed. After talking to them on the phone and asking the questions and them giving me the information I was looking for, I was very, very confident with the purchase. And at this point, I just basically need to get my budding gear and get this car all measured out and start taking it apart and getting it ready to cut the frame and weld in new brackets. Probably not going to happen for a couple more weeks here, but I'll keep you guys all posted. You guys subscribe to my YouTube channel, watch ChevelleFactory page on social media, Instagram and Facebook, and I'll keep the updates coming. Subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can follow up with any other video updates as well for this car that I'm working on. This is my personal car and or others that I find that I do videos on. Thanks for watching. If you guys got any questions, ask them down below. If you got any comments, post those comments down below too. I'd like to hear what you guys think about the video. I'll put the details of the product down below as well. But again, I do appreciate you guys watching the video. I look forward to the next one. Thank you.